Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, my preview for Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. Now, I was debating if I should actually even do a preview on this game because, as we found out, this game is pretty much potentially a 2 to 3 hour overpriced $40 DLC. And I was thinking it really doesn't deserve a preview, and I should probably save it for what will be the complete game, Phantom Pain. Now, some people say they will not support this game. They're not going to buy it because there is no reason they should spend $40 on a game that's only 2 to 3 hours long. And the game, yeah, it's pretty much a tease for Phantom Pain, as Kojima said, and I'm gonna speak on Kojima in a minute, but he stated it's just a small taste to hold people off until Phantom Pain comes out. But I don't understand how something this short is going to be able to satisfy people even temporarily when Phantom Pain probably won't even come out until somewhere in 2015. I honestly think like Kojima has become somewhat of a troll, honestly. I really do. I think he kind of exaggerates some things in his game. He sensationalizes a lot of things. I know he's a very high profile developer, but I think Metal Gear Solid is a franchise. The formula itself is becoming very played out to me. I mean, the story, every story seems to follow the same formula. It seems like it's always over dramatic, for one thing, very dramatic. And, you know, I think that just comes from the fact that he's, you know, a Japanese developer. You know, everything's just dramatic, melodramatic with them. The story has always been unnecessarily over complex, not to the point where you can't understand it, but as I was saying before, it seems like the plot is always there is some type of paramilitary group or terrorist, and you know the situation is volatile and everything is on the brink of war. And of course, you as the protagonist, Solid Snake or Big Boss, you have to stop this paramilitary group that strives off of war, or there needs to be or they don't want war to stop because that's how they make their money. You know, because they're an arms dealer or something like that. It just always seems to fit that model to me, and I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, Phantom Pain and well, yeah, Phantom Pain looks to depart from that kind of plot a little bit, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for that. And I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. Don't think I'm just hating on it. You know, the reason I am so critical of it is because I am such a huge fan. So I guess certain quarrels or things I may find a problem with in the franchise is because of that same reason. To me, this franchise sometimes is almost the equivalent to someone who uses sophisticated words, but you can tell they don't really know what they're saying, and they're doing it to make themselves appear more intellectual than they really are, and it just lacks any substance. And that's how I feel about, you know, parts of the plot that, you know, Metal Gear games have. I think this is a franchise that is guilty of sometimes being way too cinematic and having way too many cutscenes. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Metal Gear Solid 4, I mean, everybody knows Metal Gear Solid 4 for its cutscenes and its cinematics. I'm pretty sure it holds a record for probably the longest amounting cutscenes in a game. And honestly, I think Metal Gear Solid 4 had longer cutscenes in the game than you were actually playing the game. There was more cutscenes and cinematics than actual gameplay, I'm pretty sure. And you know, early on in the series, a lot of those, you know, cinematics and cutscenes seemed relevant, and I used to enjoy a lot of the tirades and the long, drawn-out emotional sequences that used to be in this game. You know, it felt like they were necessary. And I felt that both protagonists and villains in the game had a lot more substance. I mean, if you ask me, you know, what characters do I really remember from, you know, the Metal Gear Solid franchises. If it was limited to villains or bosses, it would definitely be like Sniper Wolf, Psycho Mantis, of course, you know, Liquid, because he's in several games. But it was from that Metal Gear that I think those characters were, you know, had the most substance, and they were the most deeply developed and detailed characters. And I think each game after that, as I said, just, you know, used the same formula, but it wasn't, they weren't able to, you know, recapture the same impact and the essence since that. You know, it wasn't as powerful to me. Now I'm getting both games, Ground Zeroes and Phantom Menace. Whoa, Phantom Menace, Star Wars, wrong movie, wrong game, whatever. I hope I didn't say Phantom Menace earlier. I might have, I don't know. But Phantom Pain, but I'm not exactly, it didn't even make my most anticipated list, because of the reason I stated, that I just feel like the formula is jaded. Now, we all know Metal Gear is a stealth espionage, you know, but also action game. Now, I never really felt like it was the best at either genre. I think it was extremely good, but not the best. I don't think it had the best, you know, action or shooting mechanics, or the best stealth, you know, espionage mechanics, but it's the best game that does both. So I don't think it's a master of that dichotomy, but it's the best to do it. And as far as the visuals, man, listen, that's one thing for sure that I can never really find huge problem with. I mean, just looking at the gameplay trailers that we got for Ground Zeroes, I mean, the textures, the lighting, the detail, the environment, the character models, everything looked amazing. Everything. So the visual and graphics department, the game looks astounding. Even though they do take some shortcuts here and there when it comes to things in the environment that are not so important, the polygon count in this game must be like out of this world, in my opinion. It has to be. And in this game particularly, you do play as Big Boss, not Solid Snake, but, you know, they're pretty much technically clones anyway. But, you know, that's my preview for the game. The story, I'm expecting kind of more of the same. Visuals, you already know they are going to be amazing. Probably some of the best we've seen so far. And the gameplay, I'm sure they have added a few more gameplay mechanics in terms of stealth and also combat, so we can look forward to that. So that's my preview. Let me know what y'all think about this. What do you think about Ground Zeroes, and will you be getting it? All right, I'm out of here. Peace.